I don't really talk about him. I guess that's because he died when I was so young and I didn't actually know him. I have two genuine memories of my dad. They both took place at the kitchen table in my childhood home at this really beautiful old farmhouse in Vermont. I remember sitting with him while he was eating those orange slice candies, the gummy-like ones that are covered in sugar, and he gave me one. And the second thing I remember involves another adult in the room. I can't remember who it was, but it was probably an uncle or my dad's friend. And for some reason, Dad said something about punching someone's lights out. The grown-ups were laughing, but I remember being frightened because I was afraid of the dark. And I imagined him literally punching out the light bulb in the lamp in my bedroom. I vividly remember being very worried about that. It seemed like everywhere I went, there was always someone there to tell me how wonderful he was. They would go on and on about him being the life of the party and the kindest man they'd ever met, and always ready with a joke and a laugh. I hated it. I resented them for knowing him better than I ever would, and I resented them for telling me these things because it felt like they were just rubbing it in my face. Luckily, I grew up. I learned more about people and the world, and I really came to cherish those conversations with strangers. And I've been asking my mom more about him as I've gotten older, and my absolute favorite story is from before I was even born. My parents had a farm that they couldn't afford, and during a particularly rough patch, they didn't even have enough food to feed the animals in the farm. So in the dark of night, they would sneak into the train station to find the grain car, and they would sweep whatever scraps were left on the floor into bags so they could take it home to the farm. You know, I like to imagine them wearing all black and then doing flips over the fence, but what probably happened was my mom was just standing guard, hating every second of it, while Dad just scooped some grain into a burlap sack. You know, losing a parent at any age must be very difficult, but I can only tell you from my own experience. I was 5 when he died, and as I look back at the last 30 years, there are a few things that stand out to me. More than anything, I think about how different my life has become since he knew me, and not simply growing up and becoming an adult, but moving from a small farming community to the biggest city in the world, graduating from college and actually pursuing my career, being married to the most amazing man in the entire universe. And I wonder, with everything I've become, would he accept me? Would he be proud of me? Would he love me? And then there's the fact that, like it or not, his death made an impact on my life. I would not be the man I am today if not for that fateful morning in the summer of 1987. I grew up really fast. I became a very astute problem solver, and I learned how to take care of myself. To be perfectly honest, I've had an amazing life. I love it. I love it so much. And if someone told me that I could have more time with him if I gave up everything I've ever done and everyone I've ever met, I don't know what my answer would be. And that sucks. I don't really think about it very often. I guess I'm busy living my life, and deep down, I know that that's what he would want for me. And it may sound corny, but whenever I'm making someone laugh, or I'm helping out a friend, or I'm in the middle of a fun adventure, I know that he's there with me. Like father, like son. Love you, Dad.